Welcome, everyone. I'm Carl Willis, CEO at Agent Branding and Marketing, and today we're diving deep into one of the most powerful retention and activation tools you have as an insurance agent, and that is automated email and SMS campaigns that will actually convert. And so, whether you're an independent agent, a captive agent, focused on Medicare or life insurance, this session is actually built with you in mind. We're going to help you develop campaigns that convert so you can build and maintain client relationships using automation to do that. If this is your first time to join us, I'll tell you a little bit about myself and why you might want to listen to me. I've been marketing online since 1987, back in the days of dial-up. I'm a former financial advisor, Series 6, 7, 63, 65, Life Accident and Health. I'm the author of Internet Marketing for Small Business, creator of the Marketing Classroom, an international keynote speaker on business growth and lead generation, and am widely accepted as the go-to expert for insurance agency digital marketing strategy. And I have the privilege of working with local insurance agents throughout the United States. And so I'm glad you've taken some time out today to spend with me and appreciate you doing that. Anytime you hear me talk, you're going to hear me talk about the marketing ecosystem. Because in today's world, your prospects don't just engage you from one platform or from one place of contact. They engage you from multiple points of contact and multiple points of engagement. And so, as you look at this chart of the ecosystem, today we're going to be working out of quadrant number 5. And this is in that repeat and referral quadrant. So that's what we're going to be focused on today, is dealing with this repeat and referral quadrant and looking at how you can really maximize and leverage the contacts that you have in that quadrant. And so let's look at the real problem that most agents face. And that is, you spend money and time generating leads, but if they're not nurtured, they go to waste. In fact, most leads go cold within 24 to 48 hours. And existing clients have to hear from you as well, because client relationships are going to fade without proactive outreach. Your existing clients need to hear from you, or someone else will take their business as well. And so the problem that most agents run into is manual follow up is inconsistent. And that's why automation becomes so important. And as your list and your database, your book of business grows, the harder it is to stay on top of those outreach efforts. Here at Agent Branding and Marketing, our list is several thousand individuals. There's no way to stay on top of it manually. We've got to rely on our automation tools to make that possible. So, in our time today, here's what I want to give you, what I am going to help you walk away with from our time together. Number one, I'm going to give you some proven campaign frameworks for new leads, for old leads, and for past clients. There's 3 frameworks that I'm going to help you develop today. I'm going to show you how to write emails and texts that actually get responses. And I'm going to talk to you about our automation toolkit for insurance agents. Now, by the end of our time together, you'll have specific sequences that you can start using right now. No fluff, just what works. We want you to get results. We want you to be able to deploy this immediately. So let's talk about the client journey today. Let's map this out, because this is going to be important and it's going to help you understand the value of what it is we're discussing. So when we talk about the client journey today, here's what it looks like. You get this new lead that comes in, you provide them a quote, they purchase policy, time comes for renewal, and then you want to have a loyalty builder when they renew. So every message we send should align with a specific point on this journey. So if there's a new lead, there should be messages that align with that. If we are providing a quote, there should be messages that align with that. If they have just purchased a policy, we want to have messaging that aligns with that. If they are coming up on renewal, we want to have messaging leading into that. And then if they are renewing, if they have been with us, then we want to have some loyalty building messaging as well. And so let's talk about where automation comes in to support each one of these critical phases in the client's journey with you. So when we're using automation, we really want to use two tools. We want to use text messaging, SMS, and we want to use email. And here's why we want to use both of these and why it's a winning combination. The open rate for SMS is 98%. If there's any message that's going to get looked at and read, it's going to be that text message. And so we want to utilize it. Now, let me say this, we want to utilize it strategically because spamming with SMS is a dangerous thing for you to be doing. There are heavy fines for spamming, so we want to be very careful with these text messages. But when we deploy them strategically and we use them correctly, they are highly effective. And then, of course, email is best for longer stories and resources, and it really is our long-term nurturing relationship building component. Now, here's the other thing about email that most people don't realize. For every dollar spent on email marketing, the average return is $36. That's across the board, across all industries. So it's not just for insurance, but that's the average across all industries. So email marketing is still highly effective. The old saying in marketing is the money is in the list. And so you want to continue to work that marketing list constantly. Together, you get higher engagement and you get higher conversions. Remember, text gets seen, email builds trust. When you combine those strategically, you're going to meet people where they're at and you're going to get to them in the places they're at, which is on their phones. Now, there are three core campaign types that we're going to focus on today. And you're probably going to want to write this down because I'm going to give you some guidance. This is something you literally can get off of this webinar and go deploy in the next hour. The first is a lead nurture campaign. And what you're doing in this lead nurture campaign is you are warming up those new inquiries. The second is a reactivation campaign where we're going to re-engage those old leads that didn't become our customers. And then the third is a retention campaign where we're going to stay top of mind with our current clients so that they renew with us and they also become our referral partners, bringing new business to us. So let's go ahead and break each one of these down. And we deploy automations at Agent Branding and Marketing in all three of these categories. And what I want to do is help you develop a flow that, again, as soon as you leave this webinar, you can go put to work for yourself, even if you're not our client. So let's start with the new lead campaign. And what we're going to develop is a 7-day drip campaign. And this is what it looks like. So, day one, when that new lead comes in, the first email that's going to go out says, "Thanks for requesting a quote." Very simple, very straightforward. Thank you for requesting a quote. Thank you for contacting us. 2 days later, on day three, they're going to get their next contact. And that is going to be a client story or a testimonial. It's the social proof, it's the credibility builder. It's going to stir the emotional connection. It's going to help build that know, like, and trust factor. Day five, 2 days later, we're going to send an FAQ email or a short explainer video. So we're going to start to deal with any questions, concerns, or objections that this prospective customer may have in their mind already. So we're going to deal with those before we ever get there. And then day seven is our personalized check-in. So we're going to send 4 emails in our 7-day drip sequence. So day one, thanks for requesting a quote. Day three, a client story or testimonial. Day five, frequently asked question, email, or a short explainer video. And day seven, a personalized check-in. Now, what this does, this sequence builds trust, it overcomes objections, and it invites a conversation. And each one of those messages plays a very unique and a very specific role in the process of moving that lead through this decision making process and through the sales funnel. Now, the second campaign we're going to run is a reactivation campaign. And this one is an absolute gold mine. And this is where most agents are leaving money on the table, without a doubt. And let me say this to you. It is easier to monetize these old leads and more cost effective than it is to go out and convert cold traffic. So let me say this to you again. So if you're one of these people who's buying leads or you're paying for pay-per-click ads, it is more cost effective for you to work your database and work on reactivating your old leads than it is for you to be paying to try and acquire new business out of cold traffic. That's why I say this is where most agents are leaving money on the table, because old leads are pure gold if you reach them the right way. So I'm going to tell you how to do this, and I'm even going to give you a sample script. So this is time sensitive. This could be a time sensitive offer or news like rate changes or deadlines. And you want to segment these messages by product line or quote type. And here's a sample message that you might send. Are you still looking for coverage? And I would actually expand that a little further. Are you still looking for coverage on your 2022 Honda Accord? Are you still looking for coverage on your home at 123 Maple Lane? What's great about these, especially if you send that in a text, is you're going to probably get a very quick response. And it's a one-time text. You don't want to keep spamming them. If they start a conversation, then you can continue that conversation by text. But this is one I would not do by email. I would start this one by text. Quick text. Hey, this is Carl. Were you still looking for coverage on your 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 pickup truck. And what you're doing is you're re-engaging that conversation and bringing that old lead back to life. If you get a response, you have just brought that old lead back to life, and you can begin to work that prospect again. So this one's a great way to reactivate the database. It's a great way to bring new business in quick. So don't miss out on that opportunity. And then the third campaign we were talking about is the client engagement campaign. You need to keep your clients engaged, because if you're not engaging your clients, guess what? Another agent is going to engage your clients, because clients expect to hear from you, especially at renewal time. So send out renewal reminders. Use a 30, 60, and 90-day cadence. Send out birthday and anniversary messages. Send out policy checkup invites. What happens is this campaign increases renewals, it reduces your agency churn, and it positions you as their long-term advisor. Stay in touch. One of the biggest reasons people leave you isn't because of rates, it's because of indifference. And so when they perceive indifference, then they're going to go find somebody who they think cares about them more. When they believe you care, they'll put up with some movement in the rates. So be the person who cares more. Remember, what we're doing here, and this is the key word for today's training, is relationship. And even though we're using technology, even though we're using SMS and we're using email, what we're really doing is we are building long-term relationships. We're just simply using the technology to amplify and enhance the ability to build those relationships more efficiently. Don't forget, though, your message matters. So here's some do's and some don'ts. Do use clear, personal subject lines. Do be simple, and do use a friendly tone. And do have one call to action. So make sure you have a call to action first and foremost, but make sure there's only one and that it's clear. Call today at this phone number. Click here to fill out the form. What is the action you want them to take? But don't send walls of text. Nobody wants to read walls of text. Most people scan their messages. Remember that. Don't use industry jargon. Talk to your prospect or your client just like you would speak to a friend. And don't put multiple offers in one message. Keep it simple. One objective, one call to action, one focus point. Remember, even the best automation is going to fail you if the message feels generic. People respond to authenticity and clarity, and that's what we want to strive for. Now, let me give you some go-to tools that you may want to consider as part of your tech stack. And these are the go-to tools that we suggest. When we talk CRM and automation, GoHighLevel is a phenomenal tool. This is what we use at Agent Branding and Marketing. It will handle your email marketing. It will handle your SMS marketing. It will handle inbound and outbound calling. It now has AI capabilities. It will do all sorts of things. Now, I will tell you, it can be a bit of a beast. There is a bit of a learning curve to it. But once you get it set up, the automations are amazing. Soon as somebody becomes a lead. You can set it to place phone calls. You can set it to send text messages. You can set up AI to respond. You can do all sorts of cool things with it. For email campaigns, there's Mailchimp and MailerLite. Mailchimp has been my long-term favorite for a good starter email campaign program. It's just very simple to use, very robust, very user friendly. It's good starting point. And then for SMS delivery, GoHighLevel has it built in. A lot of the CRM and automation platforms now have it built in, but a lot of times you're going to need to connect Twilio for your SMS. You're also going to have to go through some certifications for the mobile networks to verify who you are as a business before they allow you to send SMS messages. You are going to have to do that. And again, remember, SMS is something that the law takes very seriously because it's very personal, because people's wives, children's mothers, grandmothers are also sending them SMS messages. And so they do not want that system abused because it is a very personal form of communication. So you need to make sure you're following the rules and abiding by those in your SMS communications. Now, we've tested a lot of tools, but these are the ones that we recommend. They are powerful, but they're also agent friendly. And there are a lot of people that can give you guidance on how to use these many virtual assistants that are highly skilled in setting these, you know, platforms up and can help you navigate those. Now, let's give an example here of moving from cold leads to policies, how this really works in a real world scenario. So we take an agent, and that agent uses a reactivation campaign with 132 cold leads. And they send this reactivation campaign to those 132 cold leads, and they begin to work those cold leads using the framework we've shared in this webinar with a compelling message and a follow up automation. And normally we recommend in a campaign a 3 series sequence, meaning they have 1 email, 2 email, 3 email sequence, up to maybe 5 emails. But in this case, it's a 3 email sequence. They reactivate 132 leads. Out of that, they get 38 replies. And from those 38 replies, they're able to generate 15 policies. And so it's a very simple way to create new business out of an asset they already had, cold leads. They didn't have to go buy more leads. They didn't have to go pay for more pay-per-click ads. They already had those leads on hand. This simply works. It's a matter of working your database. It's a matter of working your CRM. Again, the old saying is the money is in the list. You just simply have to work the list. Now, one of the things that you want to remember when you're putting together campaigns is you always want to test and optimize. And especially when it comes to email, the headline is the most important piece of your email campaign. So my favorite tool for headlines is the AMI Headline Analyzer. If you'll Google that, you'll be able to find it. It's the American Marketing Institute Headline Analyzer. Type in your headline and it will analyze it for emotional, spiritual, and intellectual impact. The higher the score, the better the headline. Anything that scores between 30 and 40 is essentially what a professional copywriter would do. Anything 40 and above is going to be pretty outstanding. If you can get your headlines into the 60 or 70 range, your open rates are going to be phenomenal. So one of the things that you will want to do with your headlines is you'll want to analyze your headlines. You'll want to refine those headlines and just test, optimize, and then send again new emails with new headlines to see what performs best. And once you've got the headlines that perform best, then keep using those, keep refining, keep tweaking, and then keep sending out new series until you get the performance that you're looking for out of those sequences. And by doing that, you can reactivate the leads within your database, do that on a regular basis, and send out a campaign a couple of times a year, maybe 4 times a year. Every quarter, send out a new reactivation campaign and do that continually. One of the things that I always look for is when we send out a campaign, I'll send out another campaign to those who did not open the first campaign, testing out a new headline. The other thing we'll do is we'll look for who opened those emails, who was clicking around, but maybe did not contact us, and we'll put together a whole nother campaign to send to that group of people. Keep working your database. Remember, these are leads. You're not having to go pay for more leads. You're not having to pay for more ads. It's good use of the assets that you already have on hand. Now, if you need some done for you campaign help, you can always book a strategy call with us at Agent Branding and Marketing. You can do that at agentbrandingandmarketing.com/schedule, and we'd be happy to work with you on getting your email campaigns put together. That being said, that's the end of what I've got for you. Any questions as we bring this to an end? All right. Well, that being said, thanks for joining us. And if you've got anything we can help you with, schedule with us at Agent Branding and Marketing /schedule. You can also call us at 888-572-8758. And we look forward to having you on next month's webinar. We'll put out the topic here in the next couple of weeks. Have a great day.